Hello, I'm Renee Ray, and I'm excited to be exhibiting my work at the Hammond Hall Gallery at Jacksonville State University. The name of the exhibit is Original Spin. I also want to thank everyone involved for inviting me and giving me this wonderful opportunity to show my work. So I've been asked some questions, and what I'm going to do is tell you what the questions are and then go ahead and answer them. So the first question is, what inspires me? Well, I'm fascinated by the idea of universal connectedness, the idea of everything in the universe being one. As a result, these ideas connect on a spiritual level as well as a scientific level, especially in the realm of quantum mechanics. So how we treat one another and how we treat our environment is extremely important. Since we are all connected, everything, I believe, is of equal importance. So there is no hierarchy. Every animal, every particle, everything in nature is of equal importance to we humans. As a result, I deal with narratives of cultural openness, equality, inclusiveness, and the health of our environment. Next question. What does my process look like from start to finish with a painting? Well, I also do mixed media artwork. And as you can see, while you're looking at my art in this exhibition, I deal with very large pieces as well as more intimate pieces. Sometimes I start with a sketch and I do a study, working out the colors and working out the composition. Sometimes it becomes totally intuitive, and I'll work right from the canvas and allow whatever I feel inside me to come out. So there is an exchange with the materials I use, and there's a dialogue that happens between me and my materials. So next question. How long have you been making art that correlates to the series on display? Well, I was honored to be invited to a residency in Colorado in 2016, Sun Peak Center for Art and Sustainability. I was given the opportunity to create whatever I wanted, with one stipulation, that it be about the environment. Since I had dealt with that idea or touched upon that idea in some of my past work, this was an easy transition for me. The pieces that I have behind me are prints of the large pieces that you see on exhibit. The large pieces are 7 feet by 7 feet, while these, of course, are much smaller. So I started with the idea of this ubiquitous cloud. It has a spiritual connotation, and from there I built on that, working with other concepts in the environment, using the landscape in Colorado, in Colorado Springs, as a launching point, and some of the indigenous animals and flora and fauna as part of the ideas that inform my work. From there, I have evolved, and my work not only includes the environment, but also the connection between people and culture. So often I use language and verses from the Bible, from the Quran, from Buddhism that deal with the environment, because this underlying concept of what is important in the environment binds us, connects us, and how we treat our environment is important for the health of everyone, which is also another connector between us. The other idea that has become more recent in the past year is the idea of transformation. I deal with identity, whether it's age, culture, or gender. And again, this is another connecting mechanism for people around the world. And in that work, I deal with movement and transformation, because living is a whole process of transformation, from the macro level to the micro level, or vice versa, the micro level to the macro level. So internally, we're changing. And then outward, we bring that outward to our community, to our family, and to society. And so everything is in flux, in transition, and everything is interconnected in this movement and transition. So what do I hope to convey with my work? Well, I've touched on some of those pieces, but the idea is to bring people together, again, in this discussion, in this conversation about what does it mean to be human, what does it mean to be connected to one another, and what does it mean to be connected to our environment, and how do we want to protect one another, and how do we want to protect our environment, and how do we navigate our world and our being as we go through our lives. And so these are questions that I want to discuss. And I've had wonderful conversations with people who have viewed my work, and also collectors, about that connection between not only humans and nature, but science and religion, history, quantum physics, string theory, lots of wonderful conversations that stem from my work and relate to each person in a different way, which is fantastic and fascinating, because above all, it is how you connect with my work, not just about what I'm trying to say or how I connect with my work, but there's that dialogue that you have with me, with my artwork, and with yourself and the artwork. One of the next questions that I have is, do I have any habits that help foster my creativity? Well, I do meditate and I do exercise on a regular basis, and I find that these things stimulate creativity and open my mind. Also, just working regularly, there is a snowball effect that culminates with working and not worrying about what you do. And sometimes I will try something completely different just to give my mind a different perspective, a different viewpoint, and that also helps my work. I also like to read, and that does stimulate some of my work as well. So last but not least, where do I see my work going in the future? Well, I want to continue this concept of connection around the world, between people around the world, and also with nature. The idea of science and spirituality is a fascinating one, and I see my work continuing from here. So thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, you can always contact me and I'll be happy to answer them. So stay safe and be well, and thank you.